Welcome to another segment, episode, edition of Tshirt University. My name is Omar Muhammad, the entrepreneur. Over there is
Murphy Pascal.
Did you hit Roofy or Murphy?
Murphy.
I have to make sure.
Had to make sure.
All right, so Tshirt University, this is the podcast where we take your brand to school. And every time we have this particular show, we always bring some entrepreneurs who are building their brand on as well. So today we have in studio, as you can see, we have Bernard Jackson and Maurice.
Everybody call me Blue.
All right, Blue. All right. So Maurice, what's your last name?
That's my last name.
All right, so we're going to say Blue. All right, good deal. All right, so you all have a company called Saloote Culture Apparel. So tell us about that.
Okay, I'll take it from here. I originally started, my name is Bernard Jackson. Okay, I originally started the company probably about 5 to 6 years ago. Can't give you the exact date and month, but that's the estimated time. Came up with the idea. It sounds crazy, but I was half asleep and I heard a song come on the radio. And you know how you're thinking in your sleep, you hear stuff in your sleep.
Right.
And it was really a rapper song, but it brought the attention. It was Rick Ross' song "Escape," and when I heard him say "salute," it just rang a bell. And it just that day I woke up, tried to write it different ways because I didn't like the way the military had it spelled. You know, the word "salute," it sounds too military. But at the same time, I'm a veteran. My business partner is a veteran.
You serve?
Yeah.
What branch?
U.S. Army.
Army as well.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So
So I guess I got to join the army.
Right, you got to join. Yeah.
I was pressured into that. So originally came up with the idea of Salute and it just rang a bell and I started writing it, start printing it, and once you get something and you stick with it and you believe in it, that's what you go with. You go with your feelings, and that's what I did. I stayed with that feeling of Salute. And every time he would come in the barbershop, I would have something else on with Salute. I kept asking him, won't you, partner up with me?
Okay.
And he was always a clean cut guy coming to the barbershop. Always in the barbershop clean. And I'm like, come on, man. He was like, nah, I'm not doing, he just kept saying no. And how people start things and it's not officially, it doesn't look good. It looks good on the outside, but the inside of the surface, as far as the business part, it wasn't there yet.
Okay.
So that's why I also needed that help.
Right.
Get to officially get it done, officially right, with getting the pattern, going through the state, going through the scheme of everything, getting a lawyer to do all of that. So
Right.
I finally fished them in and got it.
Oh, got it.
Fish me in.
Yeah, I got it. That's how I got it. Yeah.
My stories, like Bernard was saying. So I think Bernard, I don't think you do yourself justice. He's been into designing for years. So I used to follow him, go to the fashion shows that he would put on in Baltimore. So he's known around Baltimore for what he do as far as fashion. And so T-shirts was just another kind of segment of his fashion.
Yeah.
And so, I was trying to find a way for me to fit in. I'm military, 27 years retired Army. And, I'm used to structure, I'm used to organization. And so I thought that's where I could bring some kind of value to what he was doing already. To bring a little bit more structure, organize it, make sure that we're legal and do all of those things. This guy's a hustler. I mean, that's what he do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I said, well, if I'm going to be a part of this, let's get it straight.
Right.
Let me bring that to that at least. And so that's how that partnership came around.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So often entrepreneurs want to keep it to themselves. This is my brand. I don't want to share it with anybody. But you're saying, look, I need help.
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, I'm not interested right now, but I want to find a way to help you out. So what made you finally decide to go into being a partner?
His passion. It was his passion, and he believed in what he was doing. And so he was motivated behind his product. And so at the while, I'm like, okay, this guy, won't go with it. And I like his product. That's the key for me. One being motivated, but the other thing, like, do I like what he's selling?
Yeah.
You know, because if I like it, then other people may like it and buy it. Because you want to sell something that people want to buy.
That's right.
You know, so that's kind of what sold me, just him being motivated by his product, passionate. He can get a little too passionate at times, you know, and that's part of the give and take of a partnership, you know, because there's times when, you know, I may be slipping. I'm not on my strengths, or sometimes procrastinating. You know, we all have strengths and weaknesses, but I will say this about Brown. He always stay on go. You know, like, let's stay forward, let's press forward, let's move out the distractions. So it puts me back on track, you know, because this is something I do as a part-time, but this is something that's full-time passion for him. You know what I'm saying? And so I gotta kind of catch up at times. You know, so that's the give and take once again in the partnership. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, the guy that's sitting to my left is a real big part of my inspiration to creating a t-shirt company. Years ago, I can't even remember the year, his first t-shirt I saw, I was like, amazing. It was the t-shirt company was called Bobo.
Right.
Bobo.
Black operator.
There we go. I was about to say, we just can't leave it at Bobo.
Okay, I was gonna get to that. He inspired me with that. So everywhere I would go, you know, the little guys, the group of guys I was hanging with, everybody was supporting me. Yeah. So I saw where he started, and I see where he at now. He's like me. He reminds me of me, and that passion of doing what he loves. He's stick with it.
We're both Leos.
Yeah, that's right. Both Leos. Yeah. Keeps his foot on the gas.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to commend you on something. When you started, you were basically saying you recognize your own limitations, and most of us, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So, like a very good example. What's the guy's name? Deontay Wilder.
Right.
He lost, right?
Yeah.
First time he's ever lost.
Mhm.
He couldn't accept it.
Oh,
You know, and the sad thing is that he's a very talented guy. If he would recognize his shortcomings, he could improve on it.
Mhm.
But you said something, you recognize, your shortcomings or things that you weren't able to bring to the table.
Right.
And so you needed a partner. Man, that's beautiful. You don't know how powerful that is.
Yeah. I still go through that sometimes where it's hard for somebody to kind of correct me. Because I've been doing it a while, and I sit back and I listen to my wife, and she tells me, sometimes you got to listen to other people help you to get where you need to get to.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've humbled myself, and I'm able to listen. She's my balance.
Yeah.
She'll put me there and say, listen sometimes. Yeah, a lot of us don't listen. We listen to reply and not to understand.
Not to understand.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's go into the brand. So you have your brand on right now.
Yeah.
Now you have some other stuff that you brought.
Yeah. Funny part, I didn't know what he was gonna wear. Yeah, because I hadn't seen him for a few days. He threw it right on.
Okay, that's a real partner.
I gotta rip it apart.
That's a real partner. I like that.
So I see you have a T-shirt, you got the hat.
Yeah, the hat is actually what we do for Trayvon Martin.
Okay.
So we print their T-shirts, their hats, and we've been working with them for the last 2 years. Right now, it's at a checkpoint because his mom is running for, I think, city council.
Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of slowing up with the T-shirts until she gets in office. But yeah, we work with them. It was amazing that we got that part because they could have picked any T-shirt company from Florida to anywhere.
Right,
And,
exactly.
you know, the connections connected, and we had to send them a presentation and a sample, and they went with us.
Okay. Yeah. So you have some samples here that you.
Yes, I have some samples.
So
in
the
the back.
those so
Okay.
people can see that. They can see that. And while you're grabbing that, so how in business, it's always good to kind of focus on the main thing. You know, so the main thing seems like for you all was the T-shirts and your brand, put your brand on different items, and then you start reaching out to people like the Martins. So as a brand, how important is that not just to focus on just having your own product, but also reaching out to other people when they come to you?
I'll start off by saying that it allows you to have other streams of income.
Yeah.
So if you stuck in one and that doesn't, it's not popping at the time, so to speak. You got other streams of every revenue coming in. So that, having the Trayvon Martin Foundation behind us, so we supporting their mission, one in line with what we're doing, that respect, the homage, that greeting, that's a brand that obviously they saw that was important. They want to go with this anybody. And so I think they wanted to go partner with a company like ours that one is veteran owned, that's about giving back to the community, supporting us, our own. And so with them on board with us, it allowed us to do some things to make money as we're starting up as a startup company. A lot of companies may fail because they don't drive revenue right off the top. Does that make sense?
That's one of the most important things I did leave out, the vision and our mission behind it. The 3 words we thrive on is respect, greet, and pay homage.
Okay.
That's the meaning behind Salute.
Okay.
I wish that one day that all of us brothers could just start saluting each other and show sign of respect. Yeah, it would be great to see that. And that's what we're pushing for, the positive images in the public. Supporting foundations. We just left Wingate University in North Carolina.
Okay.
And supported a mission a young lady from Baltimore was doing. We drove down, presented our clothes, she allowed us to set up. And it was a complete business venture, but we also had our hands to help somebody else. And that's what we try to do. We even like to give pop-ups and invite other people like your company, other companies, because that's where we failed as a community. We don't like to connect. And if you connect, you'll build a stronger bond in the community. So that's one of our goals, to keep connecting.
And the funny thing is, we're actually saluting one another right now.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
But I want to ask you a question for all the young entrepreneurs out here. I know in trying to do anything, you have moments where you may feel like it's not going to happen, it's not going to work. So what do you do to self-motivate yourself to get you through those periods?
Me personally, I don't know where. I'm never not motivated, because my wife, she motivates me every day, because we have to live, we have to breathe. We motivate each other. She has her own business.
Okay.
She started a T-shirt company once we got married, and hers is thriving, and she motivates me every day. We see each other designs. We sitting there with laptops every day, and that's my motivation. But for a young person, to me, I think you have to research and keep researching and believe in, if it's a word as simple as why, and if you believe in that why, you just have to keep going. If you believe in yourself, all it takes is that one chance to get it right. And that's it. You just keep your foot on the gas. That's it. Yeah.
I think, wow, I'm motivated on this guy. But, for me, it's a little different, because that's a great question. It's times when I'm not motivated. I mean, family, life, conflict, world, whatever. I go through things, and so it's times when I can be distracted and focus on things that at the time are more of a priority for me right then and there. And so when that causes impact to what we're trying to do as a company, that can be demotivating. So for me, I think it's remembering the end game. Why am I in this? So I go in it with an end game. Like, what's the point? Is this going to be a T-shirt company? That we make a couple of dollars and talk on podcasts and have fun, or is the end game building some type of legacy for my family, right? For them to have a better quality of life than I have,
Right.
So for me, it's the end game.
Okay.
So I could get back to that. Like, remember why I'm here. Remember why I'm going out and going to Wingate University, dealing with students and doing community events and all of this work, when I could be doing other things for me. I got to remember that it's not just about me. It's about family. It's about legacy.
Yeah. Leaving a trail in your community. That's it.
Right.
Building a strong
like
character, keeping your character forever. Once your physical body is gone, your soul will still be here.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I kind of love that shirt that says "Soul Not for Sale."
Okay.
Always remember that.
Right.
Keeping that legacy going. Because we gonna leave here, but at some point, somebody will be talking about you at a podcast or a table later on. So he motivated.
Yeah. I like that idea. I like that. So what type of, and I'm just learning this, from working with Murphy. So what type of equipment do you all, or what type of printing do you all do?
We do multiple. We do embroidery,
Okay.
silk screen, direct to garment, sublimation.
Yeah.
So we do a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We do it. Sometimes we do it in house. Sometimes we send it out to get done.
Okay.
But it's our creation behind it that get it done.
All right. So who's the creative one and who's the business person? I'm going this way. So who's the creative and who's the business person?
For me, I would say Bernard's both.
Okay.
Okay. Me, I'm more of the X's and O's guys. I'm more technical person. But for what we're trying to, the message, let me say this, for the messages we try to send out on our shirts, I can come up with things, because I love t-shirts. That's another reason why I'm here.
You just give me that word and we.
Yeah. So,
Right.
So if you look at our website, SaluteCultureApparel.com, you'll see shirts that's going to resonate with you. Life is beautiful. It's so not for sale. Why not? It asks the questions. It's like kind of things that when you see it and read it in the visual, it's going to capture you. It's going to make you think a little bit. So a lot of our drive is behind the shirts, but Bernard is a little bit of both.
Yeah, I started sewing, so sewing got boring, but I still sew every day. Sewing patches on, sewing, doing business for other people to generate, income for our business. This t-shirt business is no joke.
Yeah.
And that idea that you came up with, the university t-shirt, it's a brilliant idea because it's 1,000 of us out here trying to get to the same, plateau, and you have to work harder. If it's 1,000 of us, while he sleep, you gotta work a little harder. You know what I'm saying? So that's my drive. I sleep probably 3 to 4 hours a night. And it's not as healthy but I want to get this dream done and the passion behind it.
Yeah, we're gonna just get some more sleep.
I don't know. I see. He works hard too.
Yeah, he tells me. He's telling me. You do the same thing to tell that.
This guy, every time I turn around, he pushing it. So he helps me.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about most guys that have the same type of business, they don't really like to get along.
Yeah.
So that's me. I'm the opposite. Because if you put that positive energy in people, they'll come back to you. That's it. Yeah. I appreciate him even reaching out to the company to say, come up and talk on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means a lot to me. Yeah. And we know the same group of guys.
Yeah.
So
From way back.
from way back. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what this is all about. This is really not about competition for us. It's about how do we empower each other. We're going to have other people here that don't look like us.
Right.
But while we got people who look like us, we're going to make sure that we're going to empower each other.
That's right.
And, it's sometimes, black men, when we're talking to each other, we could joke with each other. But I really meant that for you and for Murphy.
Right.
Sleep is good for our health.
It is.
So I'm saying to both of y'all, let's get our health. We got to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
If I'm slipping up, y'all gotta say, "Oh, Mark, you slipping up."
Yeah.
I mean, not that you guys are slipping up, but you guys got to get some good. That's part of your health. Getting that sleep. And it's not a health show, by the way, y'all.
Right.
For those who can tune in. So let's switch gears. Let's switch gears. So you have the hats.
Yes.
You have shirts. You have
Yes.
t-shirts.
Just a few samples.
Okay.
One of our favorite t-shirts. This t-shirt is "The Life is Beautiful."
Right to the camera so they can see that, man.
Right here.
Yeah.
And, this is actually Baltimore's own Billie Holiday.
That's right.
This is one of the things that she always wanted was beautiful things around here.
Right.
I recommend you, if you don't know the history of Billie Holiday, to read a little bit.
Absolutely.
And they carry this at Reginald F. Lewis Museum now.
Wow. Okay.
So that's another person that our community needs
Needs to
study.
know about. Right.
Role
Exactly.
models.
As a barber, I ask that question almost every day to the young kids.
You talking about the basketball player that played with the Celtics?
Yes. Yeah. So
No, y'all, that's not the one we're talking about.
So I have to break it down in the barbershop. Who he is and what he did. Yep. And we also have some of the hoodies with the heart design. And the heart design is basically, it's the design, meaning it comes from the heart.
Okay.
Yeah. That's part of one of our new hoodies that we have out. And, it's a nice, this is the heavy brand, but we also have a lightweight hoodie also.
Okay, so what type of print is that?
This right here is what they call silk screen transfer.
Okay.
So what it is instead of them silk screening it on here, we send it away and they silk screen it for us and they send it back to us.
Okay.
And then we process it.
And then you process it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is silk screen right here. You see the difference in the silk screen. So yeah, it's a different feeling. And what we do, we test and see how it wash. I also study the brand of the t-shirts. If it's ring spun, if it's the ounces in it, I try to stick with a light ounce.
You use 100% cotton. So they say that holds the inks better.
It does hold the ink, but the longer t-shirt lasts is the 80-20.
The 80-20.
The 80-20 lasts a lot longer.
That's the t-shirt.
Yes.
'Cause you and Murphy look like y'all know what y'all talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
We speak about blank t-shirt.
A blank t-shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
So the study, that's one of the things that you want to do is learn the t-shirts. You don't want to pick up a t-shirt and the seams don't even go back together when you go to iron it, So you can get side seam t-shirts and you can get the t-shirts without the seams. So we deal with different companies, depending on what type of the year, if it's spring, summer, we deal with different t-shirt companies. Yeah. And the hats, we get embroidered. I create the design and we get these embroidered in town or out of town.
Okay.
Yeah. With all those, that's very technical, but the answer I would give, they look good, feel good on you. That's important when you're wearing them multiple times, washing them.
Yes.
I prefer to try to clean my t-shirts because I wear them with style. So you can dress these t-shirts up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever been to one of the fashion shows we put on, we have the models wear the t-shirts with some of the Bernard's design.
Yes. So we
Give them a
combine.
runway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we give them t-shirt and they might wear it with high-waisted dress pants.
Yeah.
And it gives a different look. So not just to wear it with jeans.
Yeah.
You can dress it up or dress it down.
So let me ask you this. So in reference to your blanks, do you find yourself more or less using like the same type of blank, meaning a more quality blank, or for certain events do you go with something cheaper? Because I even see like T.I.'s brand Hustle Gang.
Yeah.
When the stuff that he has in the store, he probably uses the cheapest t-shirt out there. And for him, it's more about volume, and selling.
Yeah.
But for me, I like a quality t-shirt because it has to speak for me when I'm not around.
That's right.
So I don't want to give people junk.
That means they're not gonna buy
Right.
it.
But then I had to think, like, if I'm doing a giveaway, I might have to bring my quality down.
You downgrade.
Yeah, you downgrade because it's a giveaway.
Yeah.
So what's your feeling?
It's tricky because if you give something away and it's not the quality, they're not gonna recommend it. So most of the times now when we do the giveaways, we put a certain amount of t-shirts up
Okay.
to give away. So it's almost like we don't want to give that brand out in the t-shirt. The neck is crooked and all that. Yeah. 'Cause, you can buy irregular and print on irregular and push them all day. And it's cheap. But like his t-shirts, he dry clean. And he's had this a while. It still looks new.
Yeah, it's nice.
You got
Black.
you got a factory inside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see that often.
Yeah.
Are you sewing that on there, or how is that coming?
Man.
So you want to tell me all your secrets?
So the first thing is you don't want to tell everybody your t-shirt brand.
Yeah.
So they make tearaways. Tear them out. I have to resew these back in.
Okay.
And then I have to print these in.
So show that to the camera so the
Yeah,
folks
so-
out there can see too.
Yeah, these are tearaways, so you don't know. Some people don't want to tell what brand they have right away, you know. How can I say it? After being in the business so long,
Yeah,
like me and Murph doing this,
yeah.
as well as him being a business person, you can't give away everything,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
It's like a professor, he might as well teach for free
Yeah.
because he went to school for it, you know what I'm saying? So going through all the rough trails and everything, if somebody wants to sit down and talk, you have to understand that you are valuable to somebody else.
That's right.
And you just can't give it away all the time. So, and I don't want to give it away to somebody that I don't feel is passionate about the business.
Right.
Yeah. You know, if I don't see that passion, I'm not gonna give it away.
Okay.
But I do like to help people to start their businesses. And if anything, if you need help, I'm always the one to help. So it's a
I like that. Yeah.
it's a 50-50, you know what I'm saying? Because, and Murph work hard, you just not gonna call him and say, Murph, you need to get your t-shirts. or who's printing,
Yeah.
you know, because there's certain things. Some people drop ship, some people do their own work.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on your capital with your company.
Yeah. So we're talking about that in another project that we're working on, drop shipping versus doing your own work.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing your own work.
Mhm.
You know, so what's the advantage of that? And then Murphy, you can jump in and talk about the
Drop shipping.
piece.
It's funny because it comes across my Facebook page, the advantages of creating your own business versus drop shipping.
Yeah.
Drop shipping, you don't have to worry about being stuck with a product. That's an advantage. The advantage to me with this, if I do have the product on hand and somebody needs it right away, I can make that sale to you. So it both had their pros and cons. So to me, it's a win-win on both. It's hard to say, it depends on the company where you're at. If you're somewhere else and you don't want to keep shipping, yeah, drop shipping is fine.
Yeah. And I see with your particular one, doing it yourself, you're employing more people, and you're really, giving opportunities for it. And we always talk about, for those who are not here in Baltimore, we're in Baltimore. I hate that word, but I'm gonna use it anyway. The squeegee kids, so if we could get to train those young brothers on how to really understand. Here's an opportunity for you to take a skill, and you can either work for someone else or you can create your own opportunities.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I talked to Baltimore, few of the Baltimore City cops that I cut, and the programs they try to start for these kids. But the hardest part is these kids are getting instant money. So to say you have to wait 2 weeks now,
Right.
it's hard for those kids. I'm not a big squeegee kid person because my car does the job, but they're hustling. It just has to get into the school system that all this is available. Invite some of us in there to talk to the teachers in the program.
Right, yes, that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, my
That's
wife,
right.
she got me to go into Randallstown to talk about fashion.
Okay.
And the kids weren't even, and I told them, I said, look, I could be at home on a Monday. This is my day off.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to listen, I can leave. But I'm going to teach you some things you might want to hear, you might not want to hear. So it's valuable later. You laugh now,
Yeah.
but later on, it'll be valuable to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we got about a couple minutes left. Any final thoughts? This is the show where we talk about brands and really taking your brand to school. You guys drop some good nuggets as it relates to your brand and also about business as well. Any final thoughts? And we definitely want to give you your contact information. Now, how can people reach you guys?
Yeah, so we're looking at Saloote Cultural Apparel is our website.
You don't have to spell that, bro.
No,
We'll make sure we put it up there too.
Yeah.
Just
But
spell-
Saloote is spelled SALOOTE. Okay. Culture.
www.salutecultureapparel.com. Yeah, and we like everybody to just please go to the website and just drop a message, leave your name. So when we do have sales or we have giveaways, we'll have your message and we can reach out to you. And we on IG at Saloote_. Culture, and Facebook at Saloote Culture Apparel.
Any final thoughts?
Man, it's funny. I'm sitting over here thinking like I want to cry. So, man, this is powerful, man. You know, we've been knowing each other for years, man, for years.
Now I be looking at your shirts. I was like, boy, he just struck gold.
But look. Let me just say this, man. Having a partner, you don't know how long I've wished and prayed that I had somebody to do this thing with me.
It's tough,
Man, it is. I mean, and the guys we know, I would talk to them.
And they ignore it.
I mean,
I already know what you.
Part of the thing was, I'm kind of going off a little bit, but look, I was giving parties, and two of my good friends was giving parties in Baltimore too.
Yes.
Right? And we all struggling individually. I said, why don't the three of us come together and lock the city down?
That's it.
They ain't my hand.
That's it. Yeah. It's tough.
It's tough.
And I'm gonna be honest. Before you came in, I was procrastinating, getting the name nailed down. Came in and said, look, we sending this to legals, and they took care of everything. You covered. Now, you know, you still gotta take care of your taxes. You gotta do all of that.
Right.
You can't even be in what they call it, the bad business. When we go to get a bank account, if you're not registered right, your banks won't even accept.
Yeah, won't even accept it. Right.
Right.
Exactly.
We was probably like 5 days late. We had to go rush and get it done, make sure it was right.
Yeah.
That's the part of being a business. Building that brand.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But I appreciate you for inviting us.
Man,
You
sure,
for having this
man.
show.
Come on,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of companies out
We
there.
we salute them. We salute them.
Hey, man.
Yeah, we
Hey,
salute them.
yeah.
We salute you guys.
Real quick, I know this off I gotta give my wife a shout out.
I was about
Okay.
to ask. She spent the wife like 3 times.
She's an AKA. She
Okay.
she started her t-shirt business, and she's a vendor for her sorority.
Man, hold up. I gotta tell my wife shout out to that. Jack, we know
Hold
Sonya.
up. What's your wife's name? What's the name of her
We say,
business?
Her
right.
name is Sonya Jackson,
Yeah.
and it's called T Rose Pretty.
Oh, okay.
She motivates me. We're in the house every day going everything. We ordering. We both have machines. We have 3 or 4 machines in the house. We turn in the basement into a workplace now. Yeah.
T Rose Pretty. I mean, it's awesome.
Awesome.
T
Okay.
Rose Pretty. I mean, I go in and Sonya, the two of them. I mean, they going out. I'm like, you guys, man. Yeah, I gotta walk back out of here. There's too much going on. But I just want to shout out my wife and my family as well. There's always somebody behind you or beside you, driving you as well.
Right.
So they are key to my life, not just on the business side, but just life in a whole, so to speak.
Real quick, the connection that was made. She's a phenomenal person. She will build your brand. Her name is Denise Cooper. If
Denise
you
Cooper.
ever need any type of help,
You'll find it on Instagram.
find her on any Instagram.
Facebook.
Denise Cooper. She made that connection with us and Trayvon,
Okay.
but she helped my wife with her website. She's a beast.
We should shout out True Struggle too in the house.
Okay.
True Struggle. Yeah,
He has a line too, man. And I met him. We met at a location a lot of us don't like to talk about, but
Right.
we met at child support.
Right.
I didn't know him from a bag of nipples.
Right.
Conversation, he had a shirt on. I said, "Who do you product?" He said, "It's mine." It's not even been that long, and I feel like I've been knowing him for a couple of years.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
and invited him in,
Yeah.
and his energy is positive. So yeah, never be afraid, because what God gave you is unlimited creativity.
Yeah, but this is good because we're working with 2 other brothers who have their own facilities, so they do a number of things similar to you all.
Yeah.
And they even talked about, we don't see this as competition. We see this as how can we help each other build our brand.
Collaborate.
Not just here in Baltimore, but around the world.
Yes, sir.
And Murphy has his brand and I have my brand. It's not about the competition. It's about how can we support each other. So definitely appreciate you all coming on board.
Thank you, Mike.
And just sharing it, and just sharing
Yes.
it, and just being real with helping individuals build their brands. We really appreciate it. All right, good people. So this is a wrap. So you can find us on our YouTube channel, Tshirt University. Actually, it's Tshirt U Podcast. And you know, it'll be on after the credits, so you can go there and check it out. We're on Facebook as well. Thank you for checking in. And your homework this week this month is to apply today's lessons to your brand. We'll see you next time on T-Shirt University. Peace.
Salute.